Yes, Nargiza, we are live on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Um, Good afternoon, dear friends. Thank you very much for joining to our virtual session, and hope you're all doing great and well these days. And today we are going to talk about how to stay organized while studying, working from home. And let me introduce our special guest speaker today, Education USA Kyrgyzstan advisor, Nargiza Kanybek. So she will share the tips to improve how to improve your productivity while studying, working remotely. And moreover, you will have a chance to ask your questions during the live. So please type them in the comment section under this video, and after the presentation, Nargiza will answer them. So thank you very much, Nargiza, for accepting our invitation and being our guest speaker. It's so wonderful to have you today. And the floor is yours, Nargiza.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Aida. And a quick note, because I'll not be seeing the screen, would you be able to say the comments or questions that they ask? So I really wanted to make this a very interactive presentation, guys, and I really hope that you will comment or ask some questions so Aida can let these questions know to me. Uh, so right now, I'm gonna share a screen. I'm very excited to be here. Um, let's let's start. So you guys can
Yes,
see my screen, right?
it works.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So hi guys, I'm very excited to be here. Thank you for joining us for this webinar where we talk about really important topic like organization skills. Can you hear me, Aida? I think it
Yes,
stopped
yes,
for a moment. Okay.
Nargiza. Yes, it
Yes,
works. Don't worry.
it's working. Okay. Sorry guys, I never know. Okay, so I think this is a really important topic that we discuss because right now, millions of so why is it important, right? So right now, millions of people today work from home, and it's not just in Kyrgyzstan; it's everywhere in the world um, because of the pandemic, of course. And and this issue of being organized is becoming more and more important. Why? Because even though we have the pandemic, it um, going on, we still have to work, go to work, or apply for jobs, apply for universities, or even study at school right now, and just in general live. Right? Pandemic is here, but the life goes on, and it has become extremely important to have even higher level of organizational skills than ever before in order to live good lives. So that's why Education USA and American Corner thought that it would be really interesting to discuss this topic and give you tips on how to be organized. And one of the reasons why it is very, very important to be organized today is that our identities as professional, uh, a mother or father, daughter, sister, all of our identities kind of overlap in one place, which is home. Because maybe you can notice that your parents work from home or your siblings work from home, and home becomes this place where we show different aspects of our identity, and kind of we have to really organize ourselves in a way that we can be productive and also kind of cooperate with other people in this one place. I think this is definitely pandemic definitely kind of changed workplace and education forever. Even when the pandemic will be over, uh, the effects of online on remote work and study will be with us. That's why I think it's very important that we kind of develop skills. That's very important to lead the lives that really we want to lead and be as productive and fulfilled as possible. Uh, and I want to make this the goal of this presentation is to inspire you to pay attention to your environment. Um, I want to say that uh, you have to understand that within like 30 minutes of presentation, you'll not have a perfect plan of, you know, perfect plan of steps that you can, sorry, perfect plan for organizing your whole life and your work life, for example. It's going to be a starting point for you to kind of implement some changes that you need to do to work productively at home. So the goal is just to inspire you guys to kind of take steps towards your perfect kind of work environment at home. Okay. Um, so I want to see. I want to ask you guys to kind of think about what kind of challenges that we be faced when either studying from home or working from home. And I want to think about kind of like overall factors that influence you. Do you have any? You can type in comments. Uh, Anything that comes to your mind. What has been challenging for you, and maybe for people around you during this, time, difficult times. And Aida, if you could maybe just mention a couple topics, that would be amazing.
Mhm.
If there are some.
Not yet. Maybe
Not
I
yet.
will.
Okay.
Yes, people will
Okay.
type them
And I'll
later.
just give you some ideas. Yes. So keep writing, guys. I'll give you some ideas. For example, unemployment is a big issue right now, only in Kyrgyzstan, but around the world. Border closures, it definitely kind of creates this feeling of worry that you cannot maybe travel or go to, visit your university that you apply to. There's so many students who applied for universities but studying online right now here. Online learning can be really difficult to concentrate, or online work. Quarantine, we don't have it right now, but we had it before, and it definitely had some effects on us. Crushed plans, right? Like plans that didn't work out and dreams that also didn't work out. It
Mhm.
all creates kind of this feeling of frustration. Maybe you're stuck at home, relationship issues like family issues or other issues. So these challenges create some of these,
Mhm.
we call them negative emotions like anxiety, fear, uncertainty, feeling of overwhelm, and
Mhm.
other kind of emotions. Um, so keep in mind that these challenges are not just yours. These are very normal and wide kind of challenges that everyone faces today. But you have to be kind of aware of these reasons why you feel certain way maybe.
Nargiza, sorry for
Yes.
interrupting. Yes, we received a couple comments
Okay.
about the challenges. Like
Mm-hmm.
the first comment is like staying at the same place all the time, and the
Mm.
second one is staying separated from my friends and family.
All right. Yes, absolutely. So stuck at home here. Relationship issues could be so homesick, right? Maybe you're homesick, and it's totally normal feelings. And we're gonna kind of go over what you can do to kind of make you feel a little bit better. So the step one is kind of let go of your expectations of what how you should work or study at home, right? Or how you should just live your life right now. So this is I started with this step because um, when I kind of researched this issue and this when I prepared for this presentation, I saw two challenges. First was there were so many resources on how to work from home. Mm, and they made it so clear that step one, step two, step three, and it created this kind of pressure to have it one way. Okay, so all all people should do one or two or three things, right? But that's not the case. You should let go of your expectations of how you should work from home and how it's going to be hard or easy. All these expectations create a lot of stress, unnecessary stress, And that's why I think the step one should be try to be open-minded about this. You're not gonna get it perfect like after this presentation or even in 1 month. It takes time, and but it's very important that you kind of don't have any expectations. Okay. Okay. Step two is observe. Uh, this is one step that a lot of people miss. Observing, right? So you have to observe um, yourself and your environment. So here, I want you to ask these questions. How do I feel when I work from home, right? Do I feel amazing? Do I feel tense? Do I feel light? Do I feel like inspired or tired? Think about it. Where do I work the most at home? Is it your living room? Is it, your room? Is it anywhere at home, right? Think about it. How do I feel when working there? Specifically, the place that you work. How do you feel there? Um, I'm talking about emotions, right? What do I like about it? What works in that place? Maybe it's the lighting that works. Maybe you really like that it's very quiet. These kind of things. What bothers me? What would I change? This is like one of the most important questions. What bothers me? Like, is it that it's very tiny and I don't know, just in general, mm, what are the things that you would change? What are my physical sensations when I work there? When I talk about physical sensations, I mean your body. Do you feel tense in certain areas, or do you have a headache or backache? Are you thirsty all the time, or are you hungry all the time? You know what I mean? So think about it. What are the most productive periods for me during the day? Um, are you productive in the morning, or are you productive at night, or during the day? What I'm the least productive. Okay. What would be my ideal workplace be? Now here you have to imagine with any limitations, what would be your perfect, workplace would be? Would it have like amazing posters, just spacious place? I'm kind of sharing my perfect workplace right now. So think about it. Mm, And I want to I want you to write down your thoughts. First, think about it, and you can come back to this presentation after we're done. You can come back and ask the same questions. Write down your thoughts. Don't just keep it in your head. I recommend that you write not in the list way, but in free writing. So you just journal about it. And then you make a list of 3 things that bother you. And then you research online on how you can change it. But we're going to do it later. But uh, step 3 would be recording your answers. This is very, very important, guys. A lot of times we just keep all our thoughts in our head and just go around and we don't know what to do. But once you put down your thoughts on paper, specifically paper, I'm not talking about electronic kind of devices, specifically paper. It really there's a scientific studies that show that when you write on paper, your brain works better and you memorize better. So always try to journal about it and write your answers. Any thoughts, any questions here?
Not yet,
Uh,
Giza.
okay.
Someone sent us the comment how
Uh,
her professor like always caring and send positive emotions. I mean, professors are supportive
uh-huh.
during this scenario.
Yes. Okay. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We're gonna talk more about that, about kind of relationships and how they support us. So thank you so much for your comments, guys, and for any questions. And step 4 is learn. Don't even So here in step 4, you have to really be open to research and learn and go to internet and find new information and really try to get new information. Okay. So I'm gonna show you a quick video on. So this is one example of learning. For example, uh, you can type how to set up your desk, right? That's what I did, and I found really great resources. By the way, ergonomics is a study of how technology can be optimized for human beings. So it's a really great study. You can kind of Google about it. And I found this one very interesting. Can you hear the sound, guys? Can you hear it, Aida?
Not yet.
How about now?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Uh, oops. How about we share it? Um,
Yes, it's
I
possible.
don't know how to do it.
You can share the
How
link
about I
with
comment?
the.
How about I comment what happens in the video and then people can watch it later on, okay? So that we don't
Mm-hmm.
waste time. Okay, so, okay, but it's saying, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Incorrect desk placement can create a lot of pain. Okay, you can read some subtitles here. Um, okay, adjusting your chair. Um, so I guess the most important is adjusting your height. Okay, 90 degrees bent. Okay, I feel so silly commenting this. People can read the subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, adjusting your monitor is very important. For example, I use, so my personal experience is that I use laptop, right? But I don't think a lot of people use laptop like adjustment tools. Uh, so this is one thing that I'm gonna work on. Like I'm gonna maybe um, put some blocks under my laptop and then see. So yeah, you can use what you have at your home and kind of you can use whatever you have at home and make it a little bit more convenient for you. For example, when you have laptop, right? Um, not a lot of people have this stand, but I think this is such a great piece of advice that you can use, so that it's a little bit more comfortable. Okay, so I think the most important part was, so your your screen has to be kind of uh, so your arm's length away from you, and okay, so the keyboard has to be really close to you and not very far away. Mouse has to be also pretty close. And if you have a phone, it should be on the left side rather than the right side, because when you pick up the phone, you don't like do this movement where you hold the phone with your shoulder. And the most important thing that he says is to take breaks and kind of walk around and not just sit all day. Okay, so I'm gonna share this link later on. You guys can watch it, but you can just type it. It's from Wall Street Journal. You can just type how to set up your desk. Sorry guys about these technical issues. Let's move on. Um, okay, so we have to make our workspace work for us, right? And it's totally possible. And some of the tips that I have for you guys is have a natural light. So sit like near the window rather than away from the window, because natural light really helps you to be concentrated and motivated to do work, and it's really good for your health in general. Second tip is that I personally use is have earbuds. Um, they are sold in drugstores and everywhere. They're very amazing to block all the noise that's kind of going around your house. I'm not sure about your houses, but my home is very can get really noisy, so I need to have earbuds at home. And some people use headphones, but I found that with headphones, it's not very, not super effective. It still has some noise in there, but earbuds are designed specifically to block all the noises, and it really helps you to concentrate. Third tip is to keep a bottle of water on the table. Always stay hydrated when working. And when you see a bottle of water on the table, you are more likely to drink it rather than when you don't see it. So this is another tip. Keep your work documents and appliances in one place, so that everything that you need is reachable and you can find it right away. Keep one notebook and pen for work and keep it next to you. One issue that a lot of people might have is that they have lots of notebooks and papers, and they don't know which one is kind of for work. Or so having just one notebook for work really helps to be organized, and having it with you all the time. This is another tip is post visuals on the wall that inspire you. Um, these are things that kind of make you really happy, and something that's creative. It can be mood boards or visual boards. You can also Google it online. It's a very effective way of kind of visualizing what you want. Try aromatherapy and sound therapies. So aromatherapy is using essential oils. Um, it's not so popular here, but in the US and in other countries, there are oil diffusers. So you can buy them and then put some essential oils, and kind of hydrate your air at home, especially because we have this issue with air pollution. I think this is a good tip for us. Sound therapies, so listening to classical music or specific sound therapy music really can help you calm and stay calm. Block out times for work and breaks. It's very important. Do not expect yourself to work 8 hours a day and not stand up. It's just not realistic, and it shouldn't be like that. And of course, implement any other changes that are unique to you. So it's not just it's specific to you. Anything that you think can be helpful. A lot of people have children, or just families around, and some of the changes has to be specific to you. Okay, so these are just tips. Um, my second tip is do deep work. This is a concept introduced by Cal Newport, which is basically uh, we live in the world of distractions, everywhere. We type our messages every like minute of the day. We check Instagram, we check Facebook, um, and just a lot of distractions every day happen in our lives. So the deep work is basically uninterrupted work. So, and the way to do it is you have to schedule time for uninterrupted work for minimum 2 hours every day. So 2 hours break and 2 hours again break, stuff like this. Okay, so it's completely uninterrupted work. You don't check anything. You only focus on one task at a time, and you don't switch from task to task, right? And why I say 2 hours? So the author of this book says that really people who are really good at in concentrating can do 4 or 5 hours of deep work. But these people are really good at it, so they've been doing it for a long time. But average person can do it from 1 hour to 2 hours, maybe. I want you guys to try it at home. Try today even kind of test yourself how much time you can work without any interruption. And the first time I did it, it was shocking for me because I had a habit of checking my phone for messages. And I think I did about for like 30 minutes maximum. And it's just really kind of interesting to see how, um, we can't concentrate for a long time. So I want you to try it at home today. Just see how much you can go without, switching from task to task. And I put 2 hours just, randomly. You can do it for 4 or 5 hours. It really depends on you. Uh, and the argument here is that it takes 15 to 20 minutes for our brain to get into the task. So once you get into the task, we'll focus on it more. But um, your brain kind of warms up for 15 to 20 minutes. So the first 15-20 minutes that you're working on something, just ignore it because it's just your brain coming warming up to this task, right? But oftentimes we work for 20 minutes and then we kind of do our own thing. Uh, but that's not how it should be done. And another way of doing this is group similar task. For example, answer all emails or WhatsApp messages or just all of the messages you kind of group together and then you answer them for like 1 hour, 2 hours. Then you post on social media if you're working for another 1 hour, and then you do actual writing or content creation for uh, a specific period of time, right? So it's really great because you're not jumping from task to task, so your brain is more concentrated in one task. And it's very effective too. You get a lot of things done when you do it. Eliminate distractions. Do everything possible to eliminate distractions. Put your phone in another room, put your laptop in another room, and stuff like this. Okay. Third step is create your systems that work for you. Uh, I'm talking about study or work systems. So first, you need to prioritize your tasks. What tasks that are very important and what are not that important, right? And the way to do it is that you write all the tasks and you kind of star tasks you think that are important. You eliminate the tasks that are not important at all, so um, so you don't waste your time on them. You automate your tasks. This is a very important step. Some of the tasks can be really automated with technology today. Um, so think about it. It really depends on the type of the task, but even you know, one feature that I really like today is that you can use voice kind of tasks on your phone. You can just say, "Oh, call this person, that person," or make an appointment for this time and that time using your voice, right? These are just examples. Think about it. Before you decide that, oh, this task can't be automated, first look up online and then decide because sometimes you can really automate some of the tasks that you don't think is possible. Delegate tasks. Okay. Think about people that you can delegate some tasks to mm, so that it's not so overwhelming for you. And then schedule. So don't just have to-do lists. Oftentimes we write to-do lists and then we don't have a timeline for that particular task. So you have to schedule time for each task in your to-do list um, and have a deadline for each task. Someone said um, someone said to me once, task is not a task without a deadline or something like this. I thought it's very, very useful. and get the most from technology. There's so much going on today with technology. You can use different calendars, different apps, um, etc. And my experience with just organization and organizational apps like Evernote, I used so many apps like Evernote, Google Calendar, Google Notes, OneNote, Word document, Excel sheet, and etc. And my experience is that there's no single app that really helps me to be like 100% organized. And I am yet to be waiting for this app or tool. Um, but maybe it's just, perfectionism in me that really wants that. But one thing that I found is that there's nothing better than a paper and a pen because you can really create your own system. Okay, so this is just disclaimer that there's so many apps right now, but even when you use all the apps and they're all great, no single app for me helped me to like really have everything in one place. Okay, it's usually in my kind of paper notebook. Okay, um, the next step is creating your morning routine. It's very, very important. The way you start your morning is how you go about your day. It's very, very true. It can be uh, your unique morning routine. It doesn't have to look like anyone else's. I'm not gonna go over in detail about this one because there's so many resources online on YouTube. Just Google how you can set up your morning routine. But I just want to highlight that your morning routine is probably the most important part of your day, where you kind of set the mood for the rest of your day and whether it's productive or not. And it's really also very helpful for work and study. And creating your evening routine, that's also very important because it's connected with morning routine. Um, the way you, the quality of your sleep also determines the quality of your morning and your day. And creating evening routine is very, very useful. Um, such as not looking at your phone when you go to sleep, not drinking coffee at night, and um, and not going super late, right? Not going to sleep super late. Again, so many resources online on evening routine as well. So please check them out. I'm not gonna go over it in detail. And take breaks in nature. Um, it was always useful to do it and beneficial for people, but these these times it's extra important. Being around nature is very healing, and since you're sitting at home all day, you have to go and take breaks in nature. This is a must, and you're being connected to a nature, right? So you can take walks, you can go hiking, um, go for road trips, anything really, or just going outside in general. Um, I would say schedule about 2 or 3 times a day that you are outside, and not with your phone or computer. And this one is particularly important it was important for me in my own observation. It was scheduling quality rest on weekends. So most of the time, weekends are just, you don't plan them and it just happens. And this is a problem because uh, the next day, which is Monday or Tuesday or whatever, you are not that motivated and you're not that productive. So when you schedule or when you plan your weekends, it becomes really really great for your week in general. And it can be hiking, spending time with family, spending quality time with family, cooking, planning for the next week, doing some hobbies, and etc. A lot of people skip this kind of step because it's weekends, you have to relax, but it's also making sure it's quality rest, not just doing nothing, just laying in bed doing nothing, and you know um, because it's not gonna be helpful in the future. Okay, so now we are kind of going back to um, the dangers of this type of tips, maybe, or kind of structured ways of looking at how you should organize your days, and how to be organized. Is that it's not linear. It's not like you do one or two, three things and it becomes great. It's just very chaotic process. It's not easy. It's not linear. Um, it's very chaotic, complex process of finding what works for you and experimenting, right? But these are just really good tips, I think, that really helped me and other people. So regarding that, I thought I would outline not tips, but maybe just skills in general that are very needed today. Oh, if you want to be organized, is first one is concentration, right? Uh, yes, everyone is kind of distracted, but the work has to be done or the study has to be done. So it's really your job to do deep work rather than kind of shallow work. So um, it's a very, very important skill today, I've realized. Second is organizations, being able to schedule your day, week, and month, um, putting down on paper, using calendars to, you know, schedule your days and weeks. Adaptiveness, um, being able to be adaptive is very important, even though it didn't work out for you. Let's say you did your morning routine, but it didn't feel like it was amazing. You have to adapt to it. You have to accept that, okay, it's okay, and let go of that expectation. So being flexible is very important. Self-awareness. This is extremely important. Without self-awareness, you can't really, create systems that work for you. And you can be self-aware is by journaling, talking to friends, meditating, analyzing. Communication, also very important, which means voicing out your needs to family members, friends, setting boundaries in a tactical way. I think this is very important actually today. Even though you have these amazing routines, let's say, if you don't explain it to people that you live with or to your friends, they're not going to know. So you have to be able to communicate them. Proactiveness, foreseeing challenges, thinking ahead. Uh, Creativity, you can be so creative today, guys, with anything that you do, because these times are really great for creativity. You know, New solutions to problems. You don't have to work at home all the time. You can go to coffee shops, you can go to co-working spaces, and etc. Enthusiasm. Okay, challenges are new opportunities for growth. Uh, Although it is challenging, it's also extremely exciting to design your own lives that you really want. And I think this is just incredible opportunity to kind of do whatever that you always wanted to do. And someone said about relationships, a very, very important thing that people miss is supportive relationships, is your family, friends, pets, overseas friends, so people who are in a distance. Um, For people who are not with their family, try to find other people like friends, professors, even like, online friends to kind of get the support that you need. And always, don't forget about your relationships. They are really critical for you. Um, Health and wellness, exercise, right nutrition. Um, Again, very important. Connection to nature, walking, hiking, learning. Again, trying to understand something that you don't know and Don't be afraid to learn new things now. And then building tiny habits, very tiny habits, can be small adjustments, but it will mean a lot overall. I want to kind of share resources that I found very helpful um, for you in the future. Okay, um, because you know, learning is one of the skills that we have here. So deep work, as I said, it's a book by Cal Newport. Atomic Habits by James Clear. Amazing book. You can also find it like his speeches on YouTube, and he talks about how small, tiny habits can really change everything. Impact Theory, Tom Bilyeu, uh, great interviews with great people who are kind of experts in organization and performance. Seth Godin, he's great for creativity mm, and writing. And Tim Ferriss, again, super uh, organized, creative, and just creative guy that creates really good content. Jordan Peterson, I think he's a psychologist. Mind Valley Academy is also a really kind of channel where they talk about what we talked about. Lisa Nichols, it's like a personal coach online as well. She has amazing videos. Uh, okay, and I think that's it. That was the end of my presentation. I wanted to ask if you guys have any questions.
Mhm. Thank you very much, Nargiza, for the wonderful presentation. Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Ah, yes. Yeah, thank you very much. It was really useful and informative. Thank you for your great recommendations and advices. We received a lot of questions, but I think that you already covered some questions in your presentation, and I think I can remove your presentation from the screen,
Okay,
so you can
okay.
just stop
I can stop
sharing.
sharing. Yeah.
Okay, great. For example, what tools or technology do you use to stay organized? I think you already yes mentioned about it. The
Hmm.
second question: does
Hmm.
Education USA work online?
Yes. Let me tell a little bit about Education USA for people who don't know. So I work as Education USA advisor. This type of presentation is something that we don't do regularly or a lot, but I am someone who have studied abroad for my bachelor's degree in the US, and um, so Education USA helps people who are interested in studying in the US for bachelor, master's, community colleges, community college degrees, associate degrees, and our services include kind of consultation. You can make an appointment with me, and we can talk about ways of applying. Um, we have a library, our kind of library, it wide enough library where American Corner is. We are on the third floor. Because of restrictions, we are working online right now. But you can visit our Education USA page, Instagram page, and you can find the link for online appointments, or you can message on WhatsApp and we answer your questions.
Mhm,
We do work online right now. Yes.
mhm. Thank you very much, Nargiza, for your answer.
Hmm.
The next question is how to keep the balance in using social networks?
Mm, um, are we talking about work, social network? Oh, okay, social media, social networks. I think it's such an important question for everyone to think about, um, because we get all these messages from different social networks about anything, and everyone wants to kind of promote their own thing on social media. Um, so it's very, very important to kind of filter the information that we get from useful and not useful. from realistic and unrealistic. Um, and my personal kind of tip on that is I schedule time for social media, and it's just 1 or 2 hours a day, maybe 1 hour in the morning and then 1 hour in the evening. And that really helped me a lot to kind of filter the information that I received. Um, and I only look for stuff that I really want to look and need. But I do have all the social media accounts, and I can't say that, I don't look at it or whatever. You just have to limit yourself, and that's it. Hmm.
Great. Thank you very much, Nargiza.
Hmm. You're welcome.
Next question is how to combat remote school work burnout.
Mm, Also, amazing question. I think all the tips that I listed are super helpful with eliminating burnout, and I specifically put them there because there is a burnout from online work and study. And um, I think being around nature has been really helpful for me specifically. Um, and a lot of people kind of ignore that. I think they just think it's maybe useless or it's a waste of time. But it's such a misconception. You have to be around, you have to be outside
Mhm,
to kind of prevent the burnout. That has been helpful a lot. And then um, another thing that stressed me out a lot, and I think this idea that it has to be perfect, right? It
mhm,
has to be like you have to wake up and you start working and it's amazing and every day is like that. No, you're gonna have days where you're not motivated, and in that moment you can build a skill of kind of thinking, saying that okay, it's okay, I kind of failed in this, but how I'm gonna react to this. So maybe first time you got angry or frustrated, once you start building the skill, you become kind of a little bit more calm when things don't go right way, and you kind of build this muscle in your brain that it's okay and you can kind of move forward.
mhm.
So yeah, don't expect it to be like perfect and super organized. And that's why I said this is one of the dangers of presentations like this is that people think that, you know, okay, I'm gonna be like super organized now and then, no mistakes whatsoever. No, it's not like that. So I
Mhm.
wanna let them know.
Yes, I think it's also important, and it gives also kind of like being gentle to yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Nargiza. And it's not a question; it's a comment. Can you share with us the PowerPoint presentation? Is it possible, Nargiza?
Yes, I'll have to, before I say yes, I really want to share, of course, guys. I'll have to check it one more time. But it was done by me and uh, by, I use some resources of Education USA, but uh, I'll be happy to share. But I think it's available, your session will be available online, as I
Yes.
remember, right? Hmm.
Yeah.
So I think that's another good kind of part.
Mhm.
You can watch it, rewatch it, and then um, kind of write down any points that you want.
Mhm. Great. Thank you very much, Nargiza. It was our last
You're welcome.
question, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was really wonderful to have you. We learned so many tips to stay organized
Mm-hmm.
during these times. And thank you very much
Mm-hmm.
for your
Thank
informative
you.
presentation. And one of the kind of secrets, I think, please stay positive, dear
Mm-hmm.
viewers. Stay healthy and stay with us to
Mm-hmm.
receive this valuable
Absolutely.
yes
Mm-hmm.
tips. And thank you very much, everyone, for your questions, for your active participation. And bye bye. See you in
Mm-hmm.
our next sessions.
Mm-hmm.